I was exhausted, but I had finally arrived at the hotel. The taxi dropped me off right by the door. The driver offered to carry my cases in for me, but I knew help would arrive as soon as I walked in. I thanked him and gave him a decent tip. It was mid-afternoon, 3 members of staff were behind the front desk, 2 I recognized, Donna and Paul. I'd been staying in the Parkfront Hotel periodically for the last 3 years. They'd been working the whole time. They are very understanding, and they cater to their guests' every whim, even the weirdos like me. The third staff member, I didn't recognize him. He was new. I'd definitely remember him. He towered over Donna and Paul. He must be 6'4", full head of black hair, short and tidy, a hint of gray at the temples. He was big, not just tall, he was big, a giant of a man, not fat, or chubby. He looked like a lumberjack, but here he was, behind the front desk, wearing the standard black trousers, white shirt uniform of the hotel, except he wore a black tie. As I got closer, I read his name badge. Ross McIntyre. Senior Manager. My name is Scott, that's the name I use every day of the month, barring the 3 days after payday, that's when I use my other name, Sarah. I'm a crossdresser and once a month I pack a couple of cases, transform into my femme persona, jump on the train to Brighton, where I spend 3 nights at the Parkfront Hotel. The first time I went there I emailed the hotel and explained my situation in advance. They didn't bat an eyelid. They asked me what pronouns I used and said they looked forward to my stay. They've never disappointed either. The staff are fantastic, very welcoming and understanding. I've chatted to many of them. We are on first name terms these days. On this occasion I was glad I'd made the effort with my outfit. I usually travel in a tracksuit and UGG boots, but I wasn't feeling that when I got dressed that morning. I decided to look my best, even if I'd be sat on a train for 2 hours. I went with a skinny blue jeans, a little white sweater, white ankle boots with a 4-inch block heel, my calf-length, belt-tied beige overcoat and a little white beanie. My hair is my own, it's shoulder length and black, in a bob style. I guess the universe knew I'd want to look good that day. Tracksuits and UGG boots aren't for me anyway. If I'm going to be feminine, I want to do it properly. Paul had run around the desk and was taking my luggage. Good to see you, Sarah, let me get those on a trolley. Paul said warmly. Thanks, Paul, you are an angel. I replied as I turned to Donna and the new guy who was really taking me in with his eyes. I could see him looking in the mirrors on the lobby wall. Sarah. You look good, the hair is much better shorter. I'm glad you finally took my advice. Donna said laughing. She was right, my hair was completely unmanageable before I had it styled. She convinced me less is more. I thanked her and turned to look at the giant stood next to her, the new guy. I'm Ross McIntyre, I'm the new manager. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to ask. My staff can help you with everything, but my door is open to you if you need me. He spoke firmly with a deep voice and a thick Glasgow accent. He was smiling and looking right into me. I could see a glint in his big brown eyes. Pleased to meet you, Mr. McIntyre. Thanks for the lovely welcome. I promise, I'll let you know if I need something. He was walking away as he said. Call me Ross, enjoy your stay. I blushed a little and Donna noticed. Call me Ross, I've not heard him say that to a guest before. He definitely likes you. She said, in a half-mocking tone. I explained your specific situation to him, that you're Sarah rather than Scott when you're here, and he was all ears. I was intrigued. Was she winding me up, or did this Adonis of a man actually interested in me? After settling into my room and having a shower, I got dressed for the evening. I'm a crossdresser, casual doesn't come naturally. I'm only going to the movies and maybe a bite to eat, but there I was, in a black, mid-thigh length, woolen sweater dress, black opaque pantyhose and black patent knee-high boots with a 5-inch heel. It was cold outside, so I went with a black jacket and white scarf combined with a zebra print purse. There was nothing casual about this outfit. There were 2 reasons for that. The crossdresser's inability to go casual and the second reason was Mr. McIntyre. I wasn't going to call him Ross. I preferred using his formal name. I liked the authority aspect. I wanted Mr. McIntyre to see me looking good. I needed to know if he was just being a good manager or was he really flirting. These boots would help. Firstly, they are noisy. The sound of the stiletto heel, especially on the marble floor of the lobby, is more than noticeable, and secondly, they are patent leather. Everyone is looking when you walk by. The elevator doors opened with a loud ping, pretty much announcing my arrival into the now fairly busy lobby. I decided to just go straight out the street. I'd maybe bump into him later. I couldn't see him in the lobby. I really just wanted him to see me. As I descended the steps at the front of the hotel, looking down to make sure I didn't fall in these heels, I heard a familiar Glasgow accent. Here, let me, these steps are deadly at the best of times. Mr. McIntyre said as he took my hand. Oh thanks, you are a gentleman. I replied as I noticed how small my hand was in his. Are you going anywhere nice? You look amazing. Now I was blushing, and kind of embarrassed to admit where I was going. Off to catch a movie, nothing special, I just wanted to look my best, you never know who you'll run into. I said with a twinkle in my eye. Maybe that was too much, I thought. I'm glad you ran into me. He was still holding my hand, he kept holding it as he said. I'm on all night tonight, here's my personal number, not the desk, that's my phone, if you need anything at all, text or call, I'm more than happy to be a gentleman on call. He rubbed the back of my hand with his giant thumb and walked away backwards, smiling at me. I put his number in my phone and set off for the movie, a movie I wasn't going to remember a thing about, my mind was now busy, what was I going to do after the movie was my only focus at that point. The first part of the movie was, well, forgettable, as in, I've forgotten what happened, my mind was definitely elsewhere. I left after an hour, I hurried back to the hotel as fast as my heels would allow, I stopped at the local mini market and picked up some wine, a corked bottle of white Pinot Grigio, I saw the corked screws, I'd need one to open the wine, I decided to just buy the bottle, a plan had formulated. After a quick chat with the girls at the front desk and I was back in my room. I burst into action, a bath was running as I picked out something to wear. My plan was to text him, first to thank him for being so nice, a little flirty, see how he responds, then maybe, depending on his answer, ask him if he could bring me a corkscrew. If he'd brought it, I'd take it from there, if he'd send a member of staff, I'd have read that as he wasn't interested. I decided to wear something sexy but not indecent, I could hardly open the door in a tiny lingerie set, what if it's another member of staff? I had to keep it relatively classy. I began to get ready. Firstly, lingerie, I went with my black velvet corset, it's not too bulky as to be seen through outerwear, it does however, pinch the waist in a couple of inches, it has a suspender belt built in for the American tan stockings I attached, and black panties with a leopard print panel at the front. Then my outfit, I chose my black leather pencil skirt, a black silk and lace, semi-transparent blouse, and my black stilettos with animal print heels. I put a few loose curls in my hair, smoked up my eyes a little and sprayed some of my perfume on my wrist and neck. Now, I had a couple mini wine bottles in my suitcase, these did not require a corkscrew, I finished one on the balcony as I had a cigarette. I sent the first text. Hi, I just wanted to say thank you again for being so nice, I appreciate you giving me your number, you can't possibly do that for every guest, Sarah, kiss kiss. It seemed like an hour but it was 2 minutes later when he replied. You are welcome, and no, I don't give my number to every guest, just the ones I like, kiss kiss. That was it, I sent the second text, the lure text, the bait. Aww. Thanks, how about coming to my rescue again? I have wine, but no corkscrew, it's Pinot Grigio, I have 2 glasses? Another excruciating 2-minute wait that felt like an hour and he replied. Give me half an hour and I'll be there, I'll take a break from the office, I will grab a corkscrew from the kitchen, kiss kiss. I poured the last miniature wine into my glass, I looked out at the view of the city and lit another cigarette. It wouldn't be long until Mr. McIntyre would be here, in my hotel room. The wine was helping, but I was still a little apprehensive, nervous, but excited. 20 minutes later, he texted me. On my way, do you need anything else? Kiss kiss. I didn't, so I replied with. Just the corkscrew, and you, kiss. I was making it obvious now. My phone vibrated again. Okay, kiss. I fixed my lipstick, straightened my skirt and adjusted my bangs, then, right on cue, 3 gentle knocks at my door, the only sound was the click-clack of my heels on the tiled floor and possibly my heartbeat, it was pounding, I still hadn't thought this through, what was I going to say? I opened the door. He had removed his tie, this revealed just how tight his shirt was, the buttons were doing a lot of work, he was huge, he filled the doorway as he stepped towards me, stepping back to allow him in, he threw the corkscrew on the table, put his hands on my waist, He pulled me in with ease, not forceful, just assertive. Our noses gently rubbed together for a brief second as he whispered in my ear. "You're perfect, you are beautiful." The second you walked into the lobby, I knew we had to do this. He kissed me softly at first, then, when I offered no resistance, only encouragement, he looked at me and then the bed. He nodded, I nodded. As he kissed me again, he began unzipping my skirt. As it dropped to the ground, he took my hand and led me towards the bed. "Keep the heels on," he said firmly. "Yes, Mr. McIntyre," I replied coyly, peering up at my new acquaintance through my long eyelashes.